The following morning, Ethan left for work earlier than usual, or at least that's what his staff thought. In reality, he lingered just a little down the street from his mansion, his expensive car parked where no one would notice. From there, he could see the gates. He wanted to know, was the girl still coming back? And sure enough, she was. Maya Johnson. Thin frame, oversized hoodie, clutching that same old notebook as though it was treasure. She walked slowly, with a cautious glance over her shoulder, then sat cross-legged near the gate. Moments later, Amelia skipped outside, carrying a small bag hiding behind her back. When she reached Maya, she pulled it out with a grin. "I brought sandwiches today. I made them myself." Maya laughed softly, shaking her head. "You're too generous." "And you're too stubborn," Amelia replied, pushing the bag into her hands. Ethan watched from afar. Something inside him stirred, something he hadn't felt in years, a strange mixture of guilt, curiosity, and admiration. Scene shift. Kitchen staff gossip. Later that day, Ethan overheard whispers in his own kitchen. The maids and cooks were gossiping while preparing dinner. "Did you see that girl again? The one by the gate?" one whispered. "Yes," another replied. "Miss Amelia sneaks food out to her. Such a sweet child, but Mr. Cole would never approve." Ethan's jaw tightened. He wanted to scold them, to remind them that the affairs of the family were not theirs to discuss. Yet, he said nothing, because deep down, their words carried a truth that gnawed at him. His daughter was kind. His daughter was seeing something in that homeless girl that he, with all his billions, had failed to see. Narrator's voice. That evening, curiosity got the better of him. He returned early from his meetings and stood quietly behind the tall curtains of his study, watching the garden below. Amelia was there again, sitting on the grass. Maya was beside her, explaining something with her hands as she drew numbers in the dirt with a stick. Ethan noticed the light in his daughter's eyes. It wasn't the dull obedience she showed her tutors. It was excitement, real, unfiltered joy of learning. Something inside him cracked. He remembered his younger self again, a boy of 12 staring at textbooks he couldn't understand until a kind neighbor sat him down and explained them slowly, patiently, with care. That teacher had changed his life, given him the foundation he would one day build an empire upon. And here he was, shutting the door on someone doing the same for his daughter. Scene: rainstorm. One night, a sudden storm hit the city. Rain poured down in heavy sheets. Ethan, restless, wandered to his balcony. Through the rain, he saw her, Maya. She was sitting huddled beneath the stone arch near the gates, shivering, hugging her backpack tightly to her chest. Ethan's chest tightened. She wasn't just a girl who liked to teach. She was a child surviving in the streets, exposed to hunger, cold, and dangers he couldn't even imagine. He clenched his fists, torn between pride and compassion. Finally, he stormed down the stairs past the startled butlers and out into the rain. "Why are you here?" His voice was sharp, though his heart trembled. Maya struggled to stand, water dripping down her face. "I had nowhere else to go." Ethan stared at her, really stared at her for the first time. Not at the dirt on her shoes, not at the ragged hoodie, but at the fire in her eyes that refused to be extinguished even in the pouring rain. And for the first time in many years, Ethan Cole, the arrogant billionaire, felt something he thought he had buried long ago. Humanity. Narrator's voice. That night, instead of sending her away, Ethan told his staff to prepare a hot meal. Maya sat nervously at the far end of the long dining table, her hands shaking as she held the silver fork. Amelia sat beside her, smiling, chattering with excitement. Ethan didn't eat. He simply watched. Watched how his daughter's face glowed with happiness. Watched how Maya ate with quiet dignity, never once asking for more than she was given. Watched how the walls of his mansion, once cold and hollow, suddenly felt warmer. And he wondered, had he been wrong all along?